How different would your life be if you mastered the supreme art of seduction? Imagine that every encounter becomes an opportunity and that you can conquer the person you have always wanted. Today I invite you on a fascinating journey to discover what really makes people attractive and how you can apply this knowledge to improve your relationships. Listen carefully to this video to change your life forever. Let's explore how to truly improve your life with the secrets of seduction and going beyond appearances. Imagine for a moment that you're in a room full of people and someone catches your eye. What would be your first reaction? If you know yourself, you will act in a way that reflects your true essence, and this will be magnetically attractive. Self-awareness is not a superficial matter. It goes beyond knowing your likes and dislikes. It gets to the core of your desires. The Stoics, with their love of wisdom and living in harmony with nature, considered it crucial to know who you are. This allows you to live in harmony with your deepest nature, which not only makes you happy, but also makes you extremely attractive in the eyes of others. Don't underestimate the power of authenticity. Knowing yourself gives you confidence. This confidence does not come from an inflated ego or a pose, but from a clear and honest recognition of what you can offer to others and what you expect in return. This form of self-awareness doesn't happen overnight. It's a journey that requires time, reflection, and commitment. You can journal, meditate, or simply have meaningful conversations with people you care about to deepen your self-knowledge. The more you know yourself, the more attractive you become, not because you have changed who you are, but because you are more yourself than ever. Lack of self-awareness can be damaging, especially in the realm of dating. If you don't know yourself, you might end up seeking relationships for the wrong reasons, such as simple validation or fear of loneliness. These are not healthy foundations for a relationship and often lead to unhappy outcomes. If you are interested in mastering the art of seduction from a Stoic perspective, start by getting to know yourself. This will improve not only your romantic relationships, but every area of your life. You will be free to be who you really are, and this is the purest and most powerful form of human attraction. Secondly, self-confidence is another essential pillar when it comes to seduction, especially from a Stoic point of view. The confidence we are talking about is not a superficial projection or a mask we put on to impress others. It is a genuine feeling that arises from a deep self-awareness and self-acceptance, which we have already discussed. Self-confidence means having faith in your abilities, in your decisions, and most importantly, in your worth as a human being. In the context of seduction, this confidence is tangible. Think about how you feel when you are in the presence of someone who is really self-assured. It is not arrogance that you sense, but rather a kind of aura that attracts you, an energy that makes you want to get to know that person better. The Stoics teach that this confidence comes not from external factors such as physical appearance, social status, or wealth, but from living a life in harmony with virtues such as wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. By integrating these values into your daily life, you gain an unshakable confidence that is not affected by the vicissitudes of life. This is true confidence, and it is immensely attractive. One of the most effective ways to develop this confidence is through the ongoing, conscious practice of self-analysis. The more you know yourself, the more confident you will feel in your actions and decisions, which in turn will make you behave in a way that attracts others to you. Confidence also feeds on competence. Knowing that you can handle whatever life throws at you not only makes you feel more confident, but it also projects an image of resilience and adaptability, qualities that many people find attractive. It's crucial to remember that true confidence isn't infallibility. In short, self-confidence is a combination of self-acceptance, competence, and a deep sense of your own worth. It is an attractive quality in any context, but in the realm of seduction, it is absolutely invaluable. From a Stoic point of view, it is also the logical consequence of living a life aligned with virtue. It is an art in itself, the art of knowing, accepting, and projecting the true self into the world in a way that invites others to do the same. Thirdly, effective communication is an art in itself, and in the context of seduction, it is an indispensable skill. We are talking about the ability to connect on a deeper level, to listen as much as to speak, to understand and be understood. Stoics value clarity, honesty, and simplicity in communication. In the act of seduction, this translates into authentic and meaningful interaction. It's not about games or manipulative tactics, but about showing yourself for who you are and allowing others to do the same. Because true seduction is not the act of tricking or conquering someone, but the act of inviting someone into a genuine connection. The Stoics also speak of the power of being present, a vital skill in any form of communication. In today's fast-paced world, where distractions are omnipresent, the simple act of being fully present in a conversation has in many cases become extremely appealing. Being present allows you to actively listen, pick up on nuances in tone of voice or facial expression, and respond in a more authentic and thoughtful way. It creates a space where the conversation can flow and both parties feel seen and heard. The ability to ask open-ended and meaningful questions is another dimension of effective communication. It's not about asking questions just to fill an awkward silence, but about asking questions designed to truly get to know the other person, questions that invite dialogue and reflection. Through conversation, you may find common ground or even interesting divergences that invite further discussion. Not only does this show that you care about what the other person has to say, but it can also open the door to a deeper connection. In short, effective communication is essential in the art of seduction from a Stoic perspective. It is about authenticity, genuine connection, and complete presence in the moment. It also includes nonverbal language. The way you maintain eye contact, your body language, and even your tone of voice are channels that transmit information about you. An open posture, a steady but friendly gaze, and a clear, calm voice can be surprisingly effective in creating an atmosphere of trust and facilitating communication. Ultimately, communication is a two-way street. It's as much about speaking as it is about listening, about expressing as much as it is about receiving. In the act of seduction, it's the tool that allows you to reach the other person's heart, both literally and metaphorically. Communication is the bridge you build between two souls, and how you build it can determine the quality and depth of the connection you ultimately establish. From a Stoic perspective, communicating effectively means doing so virtuously, with honesty, integrity, and with the genuine intention of contributing something meaningful to human dialogue. Empathy and understanding are central qualities in any meaningful human relationship. In seduction from a Stoic perspective, these qualities take on even deeper dimensions. The Stoics believed in living according to nature, and one of the most beautiful and complex parts of our human nature is our ability to feel and understand the emotions of others. Empathy goes beyond simply understanding someone's feelings. It is feeling with that person, like an emotional bridge that eliminates the isolation and loneliness that often separates us. When you show empathy towards someone, you participate in an incredibly powerful act that confirms our essential connection as human beings. Imagine how surprising this can be in the context of a romantic relationship or a seductive connection. Empathy can be the spark that lights a bigger fire, the foundation on which to build a deeper connection. In today's world, where interactions are often superficial and based more on appearance than substance, genuine empathy is a rarity that can make you stand out. It's not about sympathy or pity, but about authentic connection that comes from a place of deep understanding and sharing. It allows you to see beyond the masks we all wear and touch the very core of another person. This ability is not only attractive, but absolutely fascinating. From a Stoic perspective, understanding is equally vital. The Stoics teach us to seek the truth, to question our assumptions, and to be willing to change our minds. Understanding allows you to adapt and respond authentically and meaningfully to the other person. A Stoic approach to empathy and understanding will also help you maintain a certain equanimity and not take things too personally. It also prevents you from projecting your own insecurities or expectations onto the other person. By practicing empathy and understanding, you cultivate a mutually enriching connection. It's a win-win process. You become more attractive to others while simultaneously enriching your emotional and intellectual life. Mystery is often considered a seduction tactic, but in the context of Stoicism, it takes on a deeper connotation, something that transcends the simple game of hide and seek that often characterizes the early stages of a relationship or interaction. Mystery in this case is a manifestation of the complexity and depth intrinsic to the human condition, a reality that the Stoics invite us to approach with curiosity, reverence, and a sense of wonder. The Stoics teach us not to take anything for granted, to question our assumptions, and to be open to the surprises that life has in store for us. When we apply this to the realm of relationships and seduction, the idea of fostering mystery is not about being deliberately evasive or enigmatic, but about recognizing that each individual is a universe unto themselves, with emotions and thoughts that can never be fully understood or defined. This respect for the intrinsic mystery of the other person is in itself a powerful form of seduction. Fostering mystery also means having a rich inner life, filled with passions, interests, and curiosity that make you irresistibly attractive to others. Not because you are some kind of unfathomable enigma, but because you reflect the human capacity for wonder and amazement, for emotional depth and intellectual complexity. The word detachment may sound cold and impersonal, especially when talking about relationships and seduction. However, in the context of Stoicism, detachment reveals itself as a tremendously liberating and emancipatory force. This is where Stoicism and the art of seduction converge in surprising ways. The Stoics teach us that detachment does not imply indifference or lack of care. Rather, it is about freeing ourselves from the bondage of our uncontrolled emotions and desires. It consists of recognizing that the only thing over which we have complete control is our own mind and how we react to the circumstances that life presents to us. In the context of seduction, this translates into the ability to remain calm, composed, and authentic regardless of the expected response from the person of interest. Practicing detachment frees us from expectations and anxieties that often get in the way of authentic seduction. We no longer find ourselves trapped in thoughts like, "Will she like me?" or "What if she rejects me?" because we understand that these are external factors beyond our control. What we can control is how we present ourselves, how we respect the other person as a free individual, and how we maintain a sense of integrity in our actions. Rather than putting the other person on a pedestal and transforming the relationship into a source of personal validation, distancing allows us to appreciate them for who they really are, another human being on their own journey of growth and self-discovery. This perspective not only makes us more attractive in the eyes of the other person, but also creates space for a deeper, more meaningful connection. Seduction becomes an authentic exchange between two people who recognize and value the complexity and dignity intrinsic in each other. Conscious distancing allows us to live the moment of interaction for what it is, rather than for what it might mean for our ego or our future. Seduction thus becomes a delicate dance with the present, an act of mutual appreciation that is lived but not possessed. In this space of freedom and acceptance, the deepest and most rewarding connections tend to emerge naturally. Ultimately, Stoic detachment in the context of seduction is not a strategy to win someone's love or admiration. It is a practice for gaining self-worth, for finding peace and fulfillment in our own company. Paradoxically, it is this sense of personal fulfillment that makes us irresistibly attractive to others. We explore emotional intelligence, a highly sought-after but often misunderstood quality. It's a concept that has gained notoriety in recent years, and for good reason. Emotional intelligence is the bridge that connects our self-awareness to our understanding of others. In the world of seduction, and indeed in all our human interactions, emotional intelligence is an immensely powerful tool. The Stoics teach us the importance of knowing and understanding our own emotions in order to interact with the world more effectively. Being in tune with your own emotions allows you to regulate them better, which means you can remain calm and balanced even in emotionally charged situations, an extremely attractive competency in any form of interpersonal relationship. However, emotional intelligence goes beyond understanding one's own emotions. It is also about being highly aware of and sensitive to the emotions of others. This involves truly listening, not just hearing. It means picking up on nonverbal cues, those subtleties in tone of voice or body language that convey what words often cannot. It is in these details that the connection is truly made in a seductive interaction. Why is this particularly Stoic? Because Stoic philosophy teaches us to respond rather than react. It tells us that although we cannot control the emotions and actions of others, we can control our responses. Emotional intelligence gives us the ability to respond appropriately, fairly, and seductively. Emotional intelligence equips you with the ability to make the other person feel seen, heard, and understood. In a world where so many of us feel invisible, this skill is absolutely irresistible. It's not just a tool of seduction, it's a means to connect more deeply with others and ultimately with yourself. It gives us the ability to enter into the kinds of interactions that are meaningful, rewarding, and truly connecting. So, if you're looking to embody seduction in its purest form, learn to be present for both yourself and others, and you'll see the doors to authentic connection and irresistible attraction open. Personal attention is a topic that is often relegated to the background, but it is fundamental in the art of seduction. Although it might seem that this topic is more related to ego or vanity, from a Stoic perspective, it is deeply significant. Why? Because self-care is not simply an act of self-indulgence, but an act of respect for yourself. You are creating a space from which you can interact with the world more harmoniously and effectively. As the saying goes, you can't pour from an empty vessel. In practical terms, this means that nutrition, exercise, hygiene, and rest are not just trivialities, but essential components of your overall well-being. When you feel good in your body, that well-being is reflected on the outside, influencing how you present yourself and, consequently, how others perceive you. A well-cared-for body is not only more attractive on the surface, but it also becomes a more efficient vehicle for your energy and intentions. But let's not limit ourselves to just the physical aspect. Self-care also involves taking time for introspection to cultivate the mind and spirit. This could translate into practices like meditation, reflective reading, or simply taking a moment to breathe and recalibrate throughout the day. When you feel balanced internally, you have much more to offer in any interaction, whether seductive or not. This is an act of empowerment. There is nothing more seductive than someone who radiates a genuine sense of personal power, and the surest way to achieve this is through diligent personal attention. Someone who takes care of themselves shows that they value their own existence, and that sense of self-worth is superbly attractive. In short, self-care is a form of preparation for life, and in this context, for the game of seduction. If you learn to see yourself as someone who deserves to be cared for and seduced, it will become much more natural for you to convey this conviction to others. You are not convincing someone else of your worth. You are presenting your worth in a way that is practically undeniable. It's a way of saying, I respect myself enough to present myself in the best possible way, and in doing so, I invite you to see and respect me in the same way. It's a beautiful and authentic dance, and one worth learning. Respect and consent are pillars that enrich not only emotional and social life, but are fundamental in the art of seduction. Because at the end of the day, seduction is not just about attracting someone, it is about creating a space of trust and reciprocity in which both individuals can freely express themselves. In the age of personal empowerment and social awareness, it is impossible to underestimate the importance of mutual respect and consent in any interaction, especially those of an intimate nature. This is where Stoic wisdom shines. The Stoics teach us that our primary obligation is to live in harmony with nature, which includes recognizing and respecting the intrinsic dignity of other human beings. Respecting each other's space, boundaries, and agency is crucial. This goes beyond simply avoiding doing something the other person doesn't want to do. It involves open and honest communication, asking, listening, and making sure every advance or gesture is welcomed. Consent isn't a box you check once and then forget about. It's an ongoing dialogue. This is a practice that not only increases your chances of forming a meaningful connection, but it also dispels the fog of ambiguity that often leads to negative or even traumatic experiences. Through the lens of Stoicism, this practice is not only ethical, but also a form of self-control and virtue. It is an expression of wisdom and justice, in which we recognize that the other individual is not a means to an end, but an end in itself. In a culture that often treats seduction as a power game or transaction, respect and consent are revolutionary acts. While there is certainly a certain electricity to the uncertainty that often surrounds the first moments of attraction, it should never come from a guessing game of boundaries and consent. True mastery of the art of seduction is navigating those exciting moments without losing sight of the shared humanity that makes us worthy of respect and dignity. Respect and consent also offer the opportunity for deeper connection, for finding the kind of intimacy that comes not just from physical attraction, but from the meeting of two minds and two souls. In this sense, you are not only practicing seduction, but you are also laying the groundwork for a more meaningful and coherent relationship, even if that relationship is ephemeral. So, when you embark on the complex and exciting journey that is the art of seduction, make respect and consent your faithful companions. Authentic connection is like the jewel in the crown of the art of seduction and is its ultimate goal. Beyond the superficial attraction of flirting and the game of seduction, what we really want deep down inside is an authentic connection with another person. Not just a glance crossed, but a meeting of souls. This is where the principles of Stoicism can really light our way. So when practicing the art of seduction, don't forget that the goal is not to conquer or get something from someone else, but to find a common ground where both souls can dance. Because at the end of the day, what we're all looking for goes beyond passion and emotion. It's a connection that makes us feel alive, that makes us experience our humanity, that leads us to be authentic. And this, my dear friend, is the art of seduction in its highest form. In the end, what have we learned on this journey through the art of seduction from the Stoic perspective? We have discovered that seduction is not just a game of attraction and rejection, but rather an opportunity to grow, to understand ourselves and others on a much deeper level. Each point we've discussed today provides you with the tools to become not only a better seducer, but an improved version of yourself. From self-control to self-confidence, from effective communication to emotional intelligence, these are all vital skills for any aspect of your life, not just seduction. Want to delve deeper into Stoic wisdom? Don't miss our next video where we explore how to apply the principles of Stoicism in daily life. Click now and transform your perspective.